What's up guys, Mickle here, and a question I get all the time on this channel is why didn't Jed McCaleb get sued with Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson in the Ripple SEC case? In this video, I want to answer that question because it's actually pretty fascinating and shows you that the SEC's theory that XRP is a security completely falls on its face. I also want to talk about in this video something very interesting, and that is a brand new connection between Bill Hinman and Ethereum Foundation. Guys, this brand new connection is really going to make it more clear than ever that the Ethereum free pass was 100% real, and this is one of those things that I don't know how Bill Hinman is ever going to live down. Last of all, at the end of this video, I want to talk about cyber attacks. We are seeing them ramping up right now. Now, this is something that's been forecasted for a while, but it looks like they are getting ready to take place big time. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. What I'm going to show you is pretty shocking. Like always, if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to take a quick second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start this video off and talk about why Jed McCaleb didn't get sued alongside Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, because if the SEC's theory was correct that XRP is a security, then Jed McCaleb should have got sued. Jed McCaleb has sold more XRP than anyone else out there. It doesn't make any sense why the SEC would have targeted Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, who haven't even sold that much XRP compared to Jed McCaleb, and for Jed McCaleb to be let off the hook. Just to let you guys know, Brad Garlinghouse in his career has sold about 100 million XRP. Jed McCaleb has sold around 10 billion, so it's not even close. If the SEC was actually worried about these executives selling unregistered securities, then there is no question in anyone's mind Jed McCaleb should have been listed in the case. But the fact of the matter is, Jed McCaleb wasn't listed. So I want to talk about why he wasn't listed, because on the surface it seems like it makes no sense. So the first thing we need to understand is the SEC is fully aware that XRP is not a security. We have already seen in the Hinman documents, SEC officials coming out and saying the asset itself, the token, the piece of code, is not the security. So right here, we know that the SEC already knew this was a stretch of a legal theory. We also know, according to John Deaton, if the SEC really thought XRP was a security, they would have sought to get an injunction to force Ripple to stop selling XRP immediately. They didn't do these things because at the end of the day, the SEC didn't actually think XRP was a security, and they also didn't actually think Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson were breaking the law. So why did the SEC go after those two? The SEC went after those two to put more pressure on Ripple. The SEC wanted Ripple to settle this case with them on the SEC's terms. The SEC never wanted this case to go so far. You really think the SEC wanted the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass documents coming out? Of course not. You really think the SEC wants Judge Torres to make a decision that's going to give XRP clarity in the secondary market? Of course not. The SEC never wanted this to get here, and the SEC actually sued Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse as an intimidation tactic. They wanted to try to weaken Brad and Chris's morale, and the only way to do that was to sue them personally. Now, I know this is the case because Jeremy Hogan actually came out and confirmed this, which I thought was super cool and definitely a reason I wanted to talk about this on this channel. Whenever you can get a compliment from Jeremy Hogan, that is absolutely awesome, so I thought it was really cool that he agreed with me. I think another reason we also could have seen Jed McCaleb not listed in this case was because the SEC actually used him as a witness. The SEC interviewed Jed McCaleb to try to get information or dirt on Ripple, and that might have been some kind of way for him to actually get out of the case. Now, to be honest, I don't think Jed McCaleb was going to be listed in the case anyway, for the reason I started off with, because there were other Ripple executives who sold XRP who weren't listed, but I just wanted to throw that out there because I think the SEC probably could have said, hey Jed, if you don't come in and talk about what you did at Ripple, we're also going to put you in this case. Anyway, I thought this was pretty interesting because the XRP community has been talking about this for a while. I thought it was pretty cool that Jeremy Hogan confirmed that my theory that the SEC was just trying to bully Brad and Chris into a settlement was true. So anyway, I want to move on now and talk about something that I just could not believe when I first saw. We have already seen so many horrible things with Bill Hinman come out over the last couple years, and honestly, I thought we'd probably seen the most of it. I thought the XRP community by now has probably dug up everything we were ever going to find. But guys, leave it to Stephen Hubert to find one more massive bombshell. Take a look at this because it really cannot get worse than this. What we learned today from Stephen Hubert is that the Ethereum Foundation was actually in some kind of organization called Plug and Play back in 2014. And guess who was a member of Plug and Play for over 5 years? Well, it actually wasn't Bill Hinman. It was his son, Nate Hinman. Nate Hinman was part of Plug and Play, an Ethereum partner, for over 5 years. This is absolutely shocking, and if you're thinking this is just some other Nate Hinman, this is just a coincidence, take a look at this, because here's a picture of Bill Hinman and his son Nate at some kind of family event. What we are learning is that the entire Hinman family is absolutely corrupt. They were also all working with Ethereum to get them a free pass. This is just another connection to show everyone that Bill Hinman did not simply make a mistake when he gave Ethereum a free pass. He was not simply just throwing out an example and it happened to be Ethereum. This has been coordinated since the start. This corruption runs deep, and most importantly, the XRP community knew exactly what was happening since day one. We figured this out over 3 years ago. Everyone said we were conspiracy theorists. Everyone thought we were crazy. And now it turns out we were absolutely right the entire time. I don't know how it gets any worse than this. It's not even just Bill Hinman anymore. Now we have his son wrapped up in this entire thing. Anyway, I thought this was absolutely insane. I think this is like the final straw. For anyone who still thinks this is a conspiracy theory, I think they're flat on their face, because guys, there are not that many coincidences like this that just add up to paint a picture, and this picture is as clear as ever. Bill Hinman worked to give Ethereum a free pass and tried to slam the door on Ripple. That is 100% confirmed. So I want to finish this video off and talk about cyber attacks, and this is something I haven't talked about too much on this channel. Now, it's been a narrative going around the XRP community for a very long time, and I know where the narrative comes from for sure. There is a lot of very, very high level people who have been predicting cyber attacks, been talking about that we're going to see one, but we really haven't seen anything too big. Well, just today, we actually saw a Russian hacker group take down a European investment bank, and I have a feeling we're really going to start seeing stuff like this ramping up. We have already seen that this same group has come out and said that they're going to look to attack more financial institutions, and they specifically said they are going to be looking to take down Swift. So how does this relate to Ripple and XRP? Guys, at the end of the day, the reason this is possible is because our financial rails are outdated. It is so easy for these hackers to get into this outdated technology and take down these legacy systems. We need an upgrade to the system. There is no technology that lasts forever, and right now the rails for our financial system have been active since the 80s. We need an upgrade to it badly, and with that upgrade will come increased cybersecurity. Now, what might that upgrade be? Well, we are seeing now every single day more connections between Ripple and the most powerful banking organizations in the entire world. Earlier today, we actually saw that Ryan Zagone was specifically brought to the Federal Reserve Faster Payment Task Force to give Ripple a better chance of getting involved with large-scale organizations. Guys, it is no coincidence that every single time we see FedNow brought up, we see Ripple close by. It is no coincidence, in my opinion, that every single time we see the IMF brought out, they are specifically talking about a cryptocurrency, and that cryptocurrency always seems to be XRP. We need to upgrade the financial system desperately. We need faster settlement. We need cheaper fees, and we need more security. Our financial system right now is extremely vulnerable to these kinds of cyber attacks. And whether or not I think these cyber attacks are planned, or whether or not I think they're organic and actually happening, personally, I think they're organic. Yes, there is a chance out there that they are planned. It's a chance that these are just higher powers looking for an excuse to bring down the system. Me personally, I don't really agree with that narrative. While I think it's possible, I think it's a lot more possible that these different people, who a lot of people say are planning these cyber attacks, are just trying to warn people, hey, we have been seeing attacks on our critical infrastructure and we're barely able to defend against them. Sooner or later, these hackers are going to get through and we are going to see a massive outage. Now, in my opinion, once we see that, it is going to be the final straw to finally switch over to the new financial system. And I have a feeling this new financial system has likely been tested and ready to go for a bit now. And Based on everything I have seen between Ripple, the Federal Reserve, different countries all around the world, building CBDCs for them, and working with the IMF, I have a feeling this new financial system is going to have Ripple and XRP's name written all over it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.